Former President Trump is staring down a complex legal and political schedule ahead of November. The presumptive Republican nominee faces felony counts across 4 different criminal cases. He and his legal team have been pushing to delay the trials. In a filing today, Trump's attorney called the Manhattan DA's proposal for a 30-day delay in the hush money case insufficient. Let's bring in CBS News campaign reporter Olivia Rinaldi. So, Olivia, how has the former president been framing his legal troubles on the campaign trail?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Elaine. It's actually one of the largest rallying cries he uses when on the campaign trail. It's something that invigorates his base, and he talks about it quite frequently as a part of his stump speech, saying that this is all politically motivated, that he's being attacked from all angles, saying that no one had bothered to indict him until he decided to run for president. It's something that lands very clearly with that base and does make them very enthusiastic to turn out for the former president. But as far as these delays and legal challenges, he's using them quite to his advantage. We've been seeing with the Fani Willis case, this is something that has delayed this case now for several months. You mentioned the New York Manhattan DA case. That is something that's going to be delayed now for some time, it seems like, depending on that judge's ruling. So he's really using this to his advantage and using it as a way to gin up that base, make them excited to vote for him.
Do we know beyond the base, Olivia, how voters overall might feel about the president's legal troubles?
You know, among independent voters that we do talk to, it's something that is concerning to them. I mean, if one of these cases were to go through jury, then for a conviction, he would be a convicted felon. And a lot of people have difficulty saying they would vote for a convicted felon for president. That is a big issue and a big hurdle he's facing. So part of the reason in delaying this is so that that doesn't happen, that these voters don't have to make that decision, so that it isn't something that they have to really consider. So among independent voters, of course, it's something they consider and that they're focusing on. Among Democratic voters, absolutely, that's something that they are not exactly thrilled about as well. They would never vote for Trump in that sort of instance. So something we're watching there.
Well, the newly installed chair of the Republican National Committee is taking a different position than Trump about early and mail-in voting. What is he saying the RNC will do on this issue?
Right. So the RNC has this program. It's called Bank Your Vote. And what it is it's an outreach program for early voting, in-person voting. That's a trend we've been seeing even among Republican voters, that they want to vote early and vote in person, or vote by mail, rather, I should say. So part of the effort for that has been to outreach to those people to see if they can, quote, bank your vote early. But that's something that Donald Trump has been against since the start. He is only for in-person day of voting. So it's of note that the RNC and Michael Whatley, the new chairman of the Republican Party, is saying that he does want to vote and focus on those initiatives and efforts to vote in person or by mail and early. Apologies there. There's a lot of speak of all these votings and characteristics, but really the central focus of all of this is that they want to make sure that they're on the same playing field as Democrats, that they're making sure that there is no perceptive blue wave to begin with on Election Day when all of those folks are voting early. So that's what the focus has been there.
Right, because we know in the past that's something that Democrats have been good at mobilizing sort of ahead of time. So it's interesting to see the RNC position on that. Olivia Rinaldi, good to have you. Thanks very much, Olivia.
Thank you.